Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a Windows 8.1 tutorial, and for those of you who have seen my Windows 8 tutorials, at the end of the video I will be going through a few things that I already went through in my other tutorials, but that's just simply because not everyone has switched to Windows 8 yet, and I want to give everyone, a good feel for the operating system. The more you know about it, the more you'll like it. And for now, I'm just going to show you guys, basically the new features in 8.1. And there's been a lot of dramatic changes, more specifically to your start screen. As you can see, you can now change your background, which your background is basically the same one as your desktop background. It makes the operating system look a lot nicer. This is something I was really wanted when Windows 8 came out, and you couldn't do it. Another thing you can see is the tiles. There's different sizes. There's little ones, and then there's the big ones here. What I like about the big ones is that they just simply show more information. Rather than having one article come up in your news feed here, you have three, which is nice. And on the weather one, it actually will show you the 7-day forecast, which is even nicer. Now, if you go to the desktop, basically the only thing that has changed is they added a little start button here. A little start button. If you right click on it, you get the basically the same options that you would get if in a real start menu. And there are rumors that in the next update in 2014 that Microsoft will give everyone the start menu back, the full start menu, and it'll basically just be an option. You could have it if you want to, and if you don't want it, it'll basically stay the way it is right now. And one of the things that has changed is the search. The search is definitely they've made some big changes to that. And one of the things I've really liked is if you're in an app, back then what you used to have to do is you'd have to go to your charm here, click search, and it would just search the app. You do not have to do that anymore. In fact, the search button is in the app, built into the app, so it'll let you search the app right there. Now, if you were to try to search something here, it would search your entire computer there. So, if you switch to Windows 8.1, you no longer have to open up the charm and go to the search there. You could just use the one in the app. And one of the other things is, back when Windows 8 came out, Microsoft was advertising this all the time, and that was that you could have two windows opened up at once. Now, one thing that has changed about that is now you can open up, I believe it is 4 windows at once. So if I take one of these, yeah, you could have 3 open here at once, and you could just do 3 things at once. It's nice. Let's see if it lets me add a 4th one. No, I guess it only lets me do 3. But, I mean, 3 is still better than the only 2 it let you do before. And, another thing that I really like is that they redid the store. The store has been completely redone. As you can see, it looks different. You right click, you get all these options. And they're just simply categorized better, which I like. I did not really like the old store at all. And there's a lot of, exclusive Windows 8 apps on here that you won't find on any other operating system. And if you have a tablet, the touchscreen keyboard, they've made some changes to that. And basically, the keyboard learns as you type, and it makes suggestions based on what you've written before. Now, I can't really show you that because I don't have a tablet. I just have, a regular desktop. But just so you guys know. And another thing, one of the greatest things I think that Microsoft has done is they've really upgraded the cloud service in Windows 8. And by doing that, they've added features like, let's say you have multiple desktops and you sign in with your Microsoft account in all three of them. All right. And now back then when you had Windows 8, you sign in and it would only sync certain things. It wouldn't sync much at all, actually. It would sync your background and your settings, and that's about it. But when it came to the start screen, it wouldn't sync all your apps, and it wouldn't sync them in the order you have them and in the way you have them organized. Now, if you sign into another computer, it will load your start screen exactly how it's displayed on all your other computers. And if you make one change on one of the computers, let's say you move that there, it'll move there on all the other computers. I find that very useful. I really like that. You get a consistency throughout all your computers. And also in Windows 8.1, they've added Internet Explorer 11. Internet Explorer 11 is definitely an improvement in terms of compatibility for Internet Explorer, and I would definitely recommend it. I mean, it's basically just as quick as 10. I really haven't noticed a difference, but I mean, it's really hard to tell a difference on my computer because I have a high-speed connection. But I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty instant. It's a little slower on YouTube, but And another big thing that they changed is, back in Windows 8, if you wanted to make major changes to your computer, you'd have to open up the desktop version of the control panel. Now, they've made some changes to the old control panel, the Metro style control panel, or modern style as Microsoft calls it. And basically anything that you could do in the old control panel, the desktop version, you can now do in here. Here you could see that you could change, your lock screen. You can add icons to the lock screen there. You can change your account picture, and then there's a picture password. That's a cool feature. And basically anything that would be in the old control panel is in here now. You have access to your SkyDrive settings. It tells you how much storage you have here. Which actually, I'm impressed by that. They give you 27 gigabytes. That's pretty good. I'd have to say that's probably the best cloud service out there. I don't think any of them give you anything near that for free. You have Windows Update up here finally. I know the old Windows Update in Metro really sucked. This one is, they made some changes to it. Still not a big fan of it. Usually when I update, I just use the desktop version. And they did make some changes to this search. Now let's say you're looking for a restaurant. So let's say you're looking for a Pizza Hut. This is what Microsoft likes to call Bing Smart Search. And as you can see, the search is pretty different. It'll show you places near you, show you their website here, give you a bunch of tabs for their website, and just results for it. It'll show you images and all that stuff. That's I'm not sure if I like that better than the old way, but it's it's definitely a change. And if you guys haven't seen this yet, they redid the task manager, as you guys can see. It isn't that really old looking one that they had. That one was pretty dated and they used it for way too long. It's about time that they redid this. And I mean, let's just see how much RAM Windows 8 uses on its own without all these apps open. Can I? No, you have to do it all at once. All by itself with all my programs running on my desktop here. It's only using 2 gigabytes. Not bad. Not bad at all. The only thing is, if you look at your, Windows 8 generally uses a lot more hard drive space than previous operating systems like Windows 7. I know Windows 7 you could get away with only using like 15 gigabytes just on the operating system alone. Now it uses like 20 to sometimes 30. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know it's up there. So you do lose some space, but the great thing about Windows 8 is you get much more performance than you would if you had Windows 7 or Windows XP. It's just a faster operating system. Your games will perform better. And if you have an SSD, like I do on this computer, my computer can start up in only a few seconds. From a cold boot, it'll take like 4 to 5 seconds just to get to the lock screen, which is really impressive. Here on the start screen, they changed the way that you could rearrange everything. And now, if you just right click on one of the tiles, it'll let you change the names of your groups rather than having to do it the old way, which was much more complicated. They made that much easier, and I'm happy that they did that. But just by right clicking one of these apps, you could resize it to a large tile or a small tile, or any size you want there. And if you click control and you use the middle wheel in your mouse, it'll zoom out and it'll let you move things that way. For those of you that didn't know that. And if you have a touchscreen, you just there's a gesture that you could do to make it do that as well.